can hear you.
Well, your
Thank
numbers
you.
are pretty much similar to Preeti's as well. According to you, the BJP is making a comeback. The Congress and the opposition alliance is not getting more than 32 seats. Like I said to Preeti as well, there is a notion going around that the Congress, along with Mr. Gogoi, are looking for a comeback.
Yeah, I think the numbers that I have given, it is based on my experience of traveling across the length and the breadth of the state over the past 1 or 2 months. If you look at the 2024 figures for Assam Lok Sabha assembly wise, you would see that the 2024 outing for the BJP in Assam was not very favorable. Even under such circumstances, the BJP had, the NDA combined, had actually managed to take a lead in 92 assembly segments. So compared to 2 years back, the situation has actually improved for the BJP over the past 1 or 2 years, and that is why I feel that the number of the final tally for the BJP would rest around the figures that I have given you. On a very bad day, probably it might slide down to the 70s house, but on a good day, I think it would be reasonably in the mid 80s house. But the larger point is that the NDA combined is, I feel, in a comfortable position to form the next government in Assam. Having said that, it has to be also acknowledged that it is not as if there is no anti-incumbency at all. The way I would like to interpret the kind of anti-incumbency sentiments that I have seen on the ground is by calling it a mild level of anti-incumbency exists in a number of constituencies, including constituencies in Upper Assam, which is considered to be a stronghold of the BJP, especially if you look at the 2021 assembly results. But the problem is that while, yes, Gaurav Gogoi is also a factor, he's a good symbolic rallying point. At the same time, there is mild anti-incumbency. But there are two factors which would probably prevent the opposition from capitalizing on these kind of advantages that it has. One is that compared to the BJP, the Congress's organizational strength in most of the constituencies is not really adequate. Secondly, of course, if you look at a number of these seats, including seats in Upper Assam, North Bank, or even in the seats in Guwahati, the difference between the popular vote that the BJP and the NDA combined had got in the last election and what the Congress had secured is way too wide. So what happens is that while there would be a shift in votes from the BJP to the opposition, but the proportion of swing that is required is over 8%. Now, if you require a swing of over 8%, I think that requires a massive groundswell, which I don't think I see in Assam currently. There is, like Priti has also said, there is discontent to some extent, but not in proportion to the swing that is required to topple the government. Now, coming to the turnout figures again, it is actually it is a very impressive turnout, because if you had followed a section of the local media, if you had followed a section of the local intelligentsia, there was a certain sentiment among certain people that people were not very enthusiastic about the elections, and that was a sentiment that acquired more dominance after a number of candidates from both the parties were declared in a number of seats, including, say, there was an assumption that traditional BJP voters might not actually turn out to vote in Dispur or in Guwahati Central because of the kind of candidate choices. So it might be the case, or it might be otherwise, but the point is that we have seen a very impressive turnout in Assam. Now, of course, the literature on whether turnout helps the incumbent government or it helps the opposition, the literature itself is very divided until date. If you look at data trends from across the country, not just Assam, there is no conclusive theoretical evidence that how turnout actually affects voting choices. However, at the same time, why this turnout has happened, therefore, it can be because of anti-incumbency, pro-incumbency sentiments that the voter want to exert. But I think we should also acknowledge the kind of institutional factors that have gone behind motivating voters to actually come out. Look at the sweep initiative, for example. For the last 1 month, the ECI has been actually conducting a very appreciable initiative in terms of the kind of ways that they are roping in people from different walks of life to actually come out to vote, the awareness campaigns that are being conducted. At the same time, a number of other kind of institutional facilities that are being provided. For example, there is something that the ECI has done that's called a assured minimum facilities scheme, under which every polling station would have to have certain basic facilities, like for example a shade, some sitting area, etc., etc., to make the voting experience more conducive. And that is why, if you have seen over the past decade in Assam, the voter turnout has consistently touched the 80s house. And at the same time, political parties, they also have they also play an important role in mobilizing their own support groups to actually come out. So in the past, it was very difficult for parties like the Congress to, or the parties, for mass parties in general, to do it, and this was something that only communist parties with a fixed cadre could do. But now, over the past 1 decade, we see that even mass parties like the BJP, or cadre parties like the BJP, they actually play a very important role in mobilizing their own voters, identified either through beneficiary scheme lists, or such other resources. They also play a major role in bringing their own supporters out to the polling station. So institutional factors plus the mobilizing role that parties play, both factors, I feel, has combined to bring about the kind of turnout that we see. As far as,
Okay,
like I
all
said,
right,
whether
fair
it's
enough,
in
fair enough, fair enough. Let me
polling
also